petroleum industry stakeholders have called on the government to implement the recommendations in the report of the National Summit on Integration of Artisanal Modular Refineries Operations into the in-country oil refining program of the oil and gas sector. At an emergency meeting convened by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Ita Enang, participants advocated for a review of the Petroleum Refining Regulations of 1974, including other relevant laws that will regulate the establishment of artisanal refineries. The meeting was called to address the issues of air pollution and ongoing ecocide in River State and other Niger Delta states as a result of oil theft and illicit artisanal refining in the region. For more on the war against oil bunkering and illicit refining activities in the Niger Delta, Arise correspondent Ovieteme George reports.
The soot, often attributed to activities of artisanal refiners, has dominated conversations in River State for some years before Governor Nyesom Wike's New Year's Day broadcast ordering for a clampdown. Ikechi Miracle helps her mother in selling fruits at the Rumokuta area of Port Harcourt, the state capital. Like many, she is conversant with the menace in the city.
The soot was very bad. Before, if you are peeling the oranges, it gets black, and because of that thing, the customer refuses to buy. But I thank God, because of the government work that is stopping refineries, now we can bring our goods out. You can see that our oranges now are neat than before. I just thank God for the government.
Before now, what we normally observe is this soot. If you look up, you see that everywhere looking black. And sometimes initially we thought it's harmattan, but we observed that it's soot. And you can see now there is a strong opposition coming out to oppose that. Is going after some few people. But he should not rely on that. He should continue, because this one concerned me, even him.
Before he was very bad, very bad. You know, we were scared for our lungs and all that. But I think it's calmed down a little. I don't know, I see on the news they're doing something, so they should sustain it. You know, whatever it is they are doing, let them sustain it. It's calmed down a little. So let them, all hands have to be on deck, let them sustain it.
The foot soldiers at the third tier of government think that Governor Wike's strategy is working.
People are singing the praises of the governor, of course. And they say they pray for him. They pray for him. And the 23 of us have taken this war as if our lives depend on it. And of course, our lives depend on it. Because the air would not differentiate who a local government chairman is. Even those who are aiding these criminals also breathe this fresh air. We will deploy all means, legal means necessary to fight this war. And we are mounting serious advocacy. And the thing is simmering down. That is what gives us joy.
He has provided resources to all the 23 local government chairmen. He has given them logistical support in various forms. He has told the security agents, and security agents have given us the security facilities to be able to deliver in this fight against illegal refinery. Go around the streets of Port Harcourt today. Nigerians who live and do business in River State are excited and happy that our air quality has improved, courtesy of Governor Ezeboye Sonwike, a man that feels for the people of River State.
Here alone had over 50-something ports.
In the meantime, the council chairman are sustaining the raid on artisanal refineries to rid the state of what is now infamously called the black soot. Ovieteme George, Arise News.
Joining us now from Abuja to lend more insight into the outcome of his recent meeting with industry stakeholders on how to address this problem is the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Ita Enang. Welcome to the show, Senator Enang, and good morning.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Arise.
Well, good morning, Senator Enang. If you could just share with us the outcome of the meeting that you called on the continuing crisis in the Niger Delta with regard to ecocide an oil theft, an illegal refinery, or what is otherwise known as illegal bunkering.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the continued partnership of Arise and television and other news medium. We were concerned about this situation, particularly the situation of the soot and the damage to the environment. First, the action that has led to this soot is first the gas flare, second the black soot from the illegal refining and other environmental damage. So on account of this, we had a meeting, a conference of 3 days at the Sheraton Hotel, I think between the 15th or 16th to the 18th of March last year, and we made some recommendations. And of course, we were able to bring to the table the participants and the practitioners in this illegal refining, and they engaged with the government. And it was agreed that this operation has to be curtailed, it has to stop, and that the only way to get this stopped is 2 or 3. 1, provide alternative livelihood. This has been addressed by High Prep and the Honorable Minister of the Environment, and then the High Prep Committee. In fact, the trustees are working on providing alternative livelihood, but that is only for those in Ogoni. Then the other one was that each state government that will have to engage with the illegal refiners. And the recommendation we made and was accepted by the participants was that there has to be in each state a refinery park. That is the refinery park. The refinery park will ensure that crude oil is legally given to the refiners. Because these people, like it or not, they have technology, they have the ability, they have the wherewithal to do it, and they are doing it. Sometimes we used to ask ourselves, all the petrol we import from all these countries, they are refined by small-scale refineries in those countries, and then taken into the big, into batches, and then fed into the big vessels at the high seas, and then imported to us. So we considered all this, and when after that, it does appear that there was lull in government agencies which were parties to this conference implementing it. And of course, the government of the respective states. The government of the respective state were parties to this conference. Most of the commissioners and the responsible officers came. So this is why we had to hold this meeting again to review the situation, see where we are and what we could do next. We understand and we share what we understand and seen what His Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, has done. And what he has done has addressed minimally the problem in Port Harcourt and the metropolis. But these men have moved to areas that you can't reach. They have simply relocated. And it is on a very honest note, and again on a very honest note, most of these persons, or the thing that we think, or the thing that they have destroyed, are like, quote unquote, agreed. I say quote unquote, because most of the sensitive things that some of the participants used, according to my interface, they had removed it, and they just had the carcass and some of the remains of the crude remaining there. So you need to engage with them so that you can fully bring them out from where they are, from where they have relocated to. Secondly, what has been done by His Excellency Governor Wike, His Excellency the Governor of Rivers State, has only addressed part of the problem in Rivers State. It has not addressed the problem in the problem that is happening in Warri, in a great part of Delta, in what is happening in Ikorabasi, Mkparenin, and other areas, and Mbo areas of Akwa Ibom State. It doesn't address what is happening in Bayelsa State and other areas where this trade is going on well. And of course, a great part of Abia State. So that is the second. The third is that the method that is being adopted in the course of the destruction is repolluting the environment, is causing more damage to the environment. Because yes, these people, these men refine, quote unquote, and then they throw away the debris onto the environment. But if you go and pour the remaining barrel into the environment, you are repolluting and further worsening the situation. There should be a kind of controlled evacuation such that the environment is not damaged. We are concerned, very concerned. The final thing I want to say on this aspect of your question is that these persons that are engaged in this threat are not criminals, quote unquote. I don't want to say they are not. I don't want to say they're not criminals. No, I don't want to say that. I want to say that they are not ordinary artisans. They are not uneducated. Remember, this country, through the Petroleum Technology Development Fund, had sent most of these children abroad and in universities around to train them on petroleum technology. The Petroleum Training Institute, Warri, train people on petroleum technology. The Federal University of Petroleum Resources, FRUM, train people on petroleum technology. In the course of amnesty in 2008-2009, embarked upon by His Excellency Yar'Adua's administration, most of the men who were involved in this were sent abroad to be trained in petroleum refining and in petroleum technology. The NDDC, Niger Delta Development Commission, send these people out to train them. So these people hold master's degree, first degree, and PhD, and various qualifications in pipeline technology, in welding technology, in petroleum technology. These are the men which we train with federal government fund, whom we have not engaged, who have these ideas and knowledge in their head, who are the same qualification with those who are working in the refineries in abroad and in refineries in Nigeria, who are refining and engaged in NNPC and all the regular petroleum refining institutions. They are the same qualification. And you have not engaged them. And you have used that knowledge, you train them, and they are engaged in this. The best is that Nigerian government has to engage them in a refined way and create refinery parks. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that really important insight, and that makes the refinery parks that you mentioned all the more urgent and essential. Can you give us a roadmap? When can we actually expect those refinery parks to come on stream? Because you'll know that this conversation about integrating artisanal refineries has been going on for a while, and the general line from the federal government is soon. Soon is a bit vague. Do we have a timeline?
I cannot say, I will say that the timeline ought to be like yesterday. But the government of the respective states has to be involved in it. It is the government of the respective state that has control of land. And so it is only the government of the respective states that can create the refinery parks. It now leaves up to Petroleum Upstream and Petroleum Downstream and Midstream Regulatory Commission, and then the NNPC and the Ministry of Petroleum, and the governmental institutions to agree to allocate this crude to these persons who will be allocated in the refinery parks. This has to come like a conference, not a conference in terms of meeting. That is a collegiate between the government of the state, providing lands, and engaging these persons. These persons who are involved in this artisanal refining are from the respective states. No person from Akwa Ibom will go to be a very oga in a refinery park, in a refining location in Bayelsa or in Delta. They are from where they come from. And again, the persons who are engaged in these matters are not ordinary poor people. They are well-to-do. There are well-to-do. There are a lot of people behind it. I've been shouting and shouting, even at the risk of security around me and about me. But I have, in this country, I heard in our Sunday school on Sunday that one of the things that every man has to think about in life is, why am I here? So every person, governor of the respective state, chairman of local government, those who feel comfortable in the petroleum industry, in the petroleum family, they should find out, why are they here? They have been there for a long time, and things are getting worse, and indeed worse. So timeline is as yesterday. The government of the respective states, the Nigerian Local Content Development Management Board, the NDDC, the Petroleum Technology Development Fund. If we were not interested in this program, why did we set up the Federal University of Petroleum Resources, FRUM? Why did we set up the Warri, Petroleum Training Institute, Warri? At the conference, the principal, the proprietors, and the managers of PTI confirmed to us at Sheraton Hotel, Abuja, that the equipment that these people are using are fabricated by the graduates and by the graduates and those who've graduated, those that have trained in petroleum technology, PTI, Warri. They train them and they fabricate this thing and sell. So if we have taught these people all this, we have to engage. The government of the states take responsibility for this. The environment that is being damaged is the environment in the state. The waters that are being polluted are water that should be for the states. It is not the federal government that has to bear every responsibility. Government has no land in the Niger Delta to allocate. It is the government of the respective states. And if you allocate lands for these people, what can happen is that you can have a long value chain of this product. Those who produce diesel will DPK, and then the petrol will hand over to those who produce bitumen, and they will produce. Those who produce wax will produce. Those who produce other things will produce. I tell you, the cost of diesel now is about 365 naira per liter. But when these people refine and give to their customers, they give it at 95 naira or 100 naira, which is about one quarter of the cost, which means that they can do it and we can bring down the cost of everything. We don't have to ostrich. It is the truth and the simple truth. Those people have come out. Thank you to Arise Television. Arise Television, you've interviewed about 2, 3, or 5 of those of those who are involved in it. And they say, look, we've given the federal government amnesty. Let federal government, state government, the petroleum family take up this, and otherwise this country is in trouble. Right now we are discussing about the subsidy question. These people also produce petrol. They mix it 40, 60 to the refined petrol, and they still make it available in the market. And if they sell it at a lower price, you will think it's wrong. They still sell it at the right good price, which you pay with subsidy. We are not being responsive to local economy. His Excellency, Mr. President, said yesterday that by the time this government winds down, we will be handing over an economy that is growing locally. And this should be one of the things that we hand over by ensuring that we engage our local hands. These hands are no more local. They have been trained. They have been engaged. They have been empowered. Trained with the government of this country. What is the Petroleum Technology Development Fund doing? Petroleum Technology Development Fund. This is part of the thing they should do. Look at the law establishing them. Look at the law establishing the Local Content Monitoring Board. Look at the law establishing the Niger Delta Development Commission. Look at the law establishing, these are the things they should engage in. And so we should stop calling them illegal refiners. We should engage with them. If we engage with them, we will be the best. The thing they told us at the conference is, if you give us the diesel, if you give us the crude, we will buy it and pay you. If you don't give us, we will take, and it will be a loss to you. And they said they came out to say that we will buy the crude because the cost of taking, given security implications, the other implications of what they spend around it, Nigerians should understand, is higher than if they will buy the crude finally.
Can I come in here?
Thank you, sir.
This is a familiar point. You said this more than a year ago on this same program. So you are telling us the same thing that you have always said about the illegal refineries. But I wanted to ask you. Now, we're talking about private refineries now in Nigeria. There's the Dangote refinery that is likely to come up. Other private operators have been licensed. Now, have you thought of what will be the likely effect of these, refineries, artisanal refineries, as they are otherwise called, on the prospects of the private refineries that are coming on stream? And why is it that more than 1 year after you talked about this, because it's a familiar thing I've heard from you before, why is it that nothing has been done so far? And these illegal refineries, as they are otherwise called, they are constituting a problem. Second, has any study been undertaken, really, on the volume of petroleum products that are produced by these so-called artisanal refineries? because I guess that should be something of interest. And then finally, you seem to be pushing the responsibility for solving the problem to the state governments. But in the case of Governor Wike of Rivers, he has made it clear that the federal government is not playing its own part of the role. It's not discharging its own responsibilities. So it's not enough to just say, oh, what Governor Wike has done is limited in terms of impact. What exactly is the federal government doing? Briefly, please, because we don't have more time.
What the federal government has done is working with and through NOSDRA and the Ministry of Environment and some other institutions, it is working on engagement and remediation. Second, it is working using the high-prep window to work on alternative livelihood to engage these persons so that they will leave the trade. On the private refineries, we welcome it, but pending when they come and provide alternative livelihood to these persons. And of course, the Governor Wike has taken a decision. Other state governments should take dumb decision. I always revere the statement that was made by the former president of Nigeria, President Babangida, that, as he then was, that history absolves he who takes a decision, even a wrong decision, but question the complacence of the indolent who takes no decision. Let the governors of the respective states take decision, even if they are wrong decision in the interim, but it will be taken that they have taken a decision. I watched your intro by George Oveteme, and those persons who spoke, they have admitted that the atmosphere in Port Harcourt is beginning to clear. That means that there's some impact on what His Excellency the Governor has done. On the part of the federal government, we are not in on the part of the federal government, they don't control the land. And the federal government has responsibilities, state government has responsibilities, local government has responsibilities. Let each arm of government stand up and act within the responsibilities that are invested in them by the Constitution.
I asked you, has any study been done in terms of how much volume of crude comes out of these artisanal refineries, as you rather call them?
I will not be exact about it, but according to rumor, and I want to say according to rumor, about 12 to 15 or 17 trucks of illegal diesel enters into some states every evening, and they dispense and sell, and they are from the illegal refineries. I say this at the risk of security, but if we don't come out to take risk in this country, we will still be where we are, if not going backward. So the volume is high, and if we do something to stop it, engage these people, all this will go into the revenue of the country, and we will be the better for it. We will stop the question of a subsidy, and the money will be available for infrastructure, employment, and other things, and to be shared among the tiers of government.
Well,
I
Senator,
can't be exact, but that is the crude idea.
Senator, just before we go, did I just hear you telling the whole world that the Nigerian government operates on the basis of rumors in taking certain policy decisions and in analyzing some critical issues? I did not say that the government says, or the government, I said what I hear from the practitioners in the field, because I have to engage with them. I engage with them. And before I engage them, I brought in the SSS, the police, the security officers to be with me in the meeting that I engaged with them, so that it will be an agreement that we have to hear them. So I can't say rumor. I will say rumor, not rumor by the government. But in governance, you have to take every means to go and get results, get input, and get data, which you will use to work and take a decision. And that is what I did. I have part of my job is working on the communities, is engaging with the communities, with the host communities, and working on oil alternative economy
for the Niger Delta and for Nigeria. And so in the course of it, I engage with them and I have this thing. I don't sit in my office to take data. I don't sit. I go out almost every weekend. I am in the field with the men because they were boys before, they are now men.
Well, part of the communique from that emergency meeting that we referred to in the introduction said that there will be further engagement with representatives of the artisanal refineries to find solutions. So it's clear from that that you're not taking the approach that Governor Wike of Rivers State is taking, calling specific people to be arrested, and that it's an ongoing negotiation. But can you tell us what form that engagement will take?
Well, it's going to take the form of engagement we had in March last year, that is calling everybody to the table. Because we've always said that every war has always ended on the table, and both the aggressor and the defense they will always meet. So we will do it soon, but it depends on a few institutions. But let me give special credit to the Honorable Minister of the Environment, Sharon Ikazo Esquire. We've worked together on this matter. We've worked together with the High Prep team. We worked together with the National Oil Spill Detection Agency. We want to engage more with NASENI. That's the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure. We've had His Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, on board on this matter. We've paid him a courtesy visit when we've discussed with him, and we're engaging now with NASENI at the highest level. Because we had engaged with NASENI, NASENI sent a representation in our committee, so they're represented. So we want to hold this very soon, and it's going to be more. And we will engage more with the security agencies, because what is happening, there are a lot into it. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Senator Enang. But somebody just sent in a message now that the statement you made about modular refinery is saying that modular refineries can only be used to produce gasoline, not petrol. And that during catalytic cracking, the facilities are not capable of doing this. But he agrees that we can get one monoproduct from the process. And this is a graduate, one of those persons you referred to, of the Petroleum Training Institute, and who worked for 16 years in Nigeria before going to London to study law. So he says he disagrees with the point you were making about modular refineries. So anyway, there's no point responding.
No. I think I didn't mention modular refineries much, but I want to say that we had discussed this question of catalytic component of it. And the professor working in Ahmadu Bello University, who produced the refinery that is operational now in Ahmadu Bello University, and the team from National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructures, and the team specially sent to us for that conference by the Federal University of Petroleum Resources, FRUM, led by one Dr. Otonocha. And of course, the Vice Chancellor was even there with us later at the conference. They have undertaken that they have the technology that will solve the catalytic component of it, and that they can do it, and it is there that even do it for some. So it is not rocket science. Even rocket science is in people's head. We train all these people in it, and if you don't engage them, they have engaged themselves.
Anyway, thank you very much.
All the people who can do it, they are in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Senator Ita Enang. Thank you for joining us today on The Morning Show.